Hi guys, in this video I'll show you how I defeated the Caretaker and the Tusk bosses, and also give a few tips on how to beat it. I will also release videos for the rest of the new bosses of the Breach patch, so keep an eye out for those. I will also show the weapon and gear I'm using at the end of the video, but I will also do a more detailed explanation of the build in a later video. Now onto the boss fight. This is quite the unique boss fight for this game. You will fight two different bosses at the same time, the Caretaker and the Tusk, but you can only do damage to one of them while they are both alive. The one we will be focusing on first is the Tusk. This fight is a bit tricky, but quite manageable if you can learn the patterns a bit. The Tusk will charge at you from across the map and leave behind a type of plague trail. Now this plague doesn't seem to do any damage, but it slows your movement speed considerably. The Caretaker, on the other hand, is the most annoying one, as he can teleport anywhere and cast waves of damaging plague. They both have quite distinctive movesets, which makes this an easy fight, if you can keep track of both of their movesets. If you do try to go and hit the Caretaker, you will still do damage to the Tusk instead. So I recommend you start with the Tusk. Let's get started. Here comes the charge from the Tusk. Once he finishes, that's your window to go in and spam your attacks. He'll occasionally rear up and smash the ground, but it's slow and easy to avoid. What you really need to watch out for are the plague waves from the Caretaker. If you are in a spot where you can hit the Caretaker, do it, as this will still damage the Tusk instead. Just keep it simple. Hit, dodge, repeat. If your gear gives you a lot of armor, you can afford to make a few mistakes and still come out on top. Now, if the Caretaker teleports near you and the Tusk, back off and focus on dodging the plague waves. Try to stay close to the Tusk that way. He'll mostly stick to his usual moves, like rearing up and smashing the ground. If you move too far away, he might do one of two things. Either charge again or go into a rampage, causing heavy damage everywhere. If you see the Tusk slamming his head into the ground repeatedly, and a violet circle appears around him, back away. A heavy damage attack is about to hit. And if the Caretaker is close and the Tusk is farther away, just focus your attacks on the Caretaker. Sometimes the Tusk will rear up and slam the ground 5 times in a row. This attack is slower, but it deals a greater area of effect damage. You can parry it, dodge it, or like me, just tank it all and take the hits like a true Pokemon. This is the Tusk's most dangerous attack. He goes into a full rampage, thrashing around the arena and striking with his back legs. Keep your distance as much as possible. This attack is brutal as it can knock you back, and he won't stop until he's slammed the ground 10 times. As soon as he stops, rush in and unleash your attacks. He'll stay still for around 6 to 8 seconds, giving you plenty of time to deal some serious damage. Once the Tusk is down, the Caretaker's abilities ramp up in scale. He'll start by teleporting around the arena 3 times, each time unleashing a massive wave of plague damage. The waves are slow, so you can either run around them or dodge roll through. Right after the third wave, he'll fire 2 wolf-shaped projectiles at you. Then get ready. He'll lift his staff and scream, signaling a massive area of effect attack as he slams the ground. As soon as he slams the ground, move in the opposite direction. He'll teleport to where you are and slam again. Right after that, you'll have a brief window to land some hits. You can dodge roll through these slams if your timing is accurate. Those are pretty much all of his moves. He'll just cycle through them. But once you get him to half health, he'll increase the number of smashes from 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 in a row. Watch closely when he lifts his staff and be ready to dodge roll immediately. I'm doing a terrible job dodging them right now. And for some reason, my weapon keeps switching to the other slot. Even though my fingers aren't anywhere near the swap button, definitely a bug they need to fix. He's about to send out those long waves again. I'm going to try to sneak in a few hits after the waves. He's down to about half health now, so he'll start slamming the ground more often. This is the toughest part of the fight. If you can time your dodges perfectly, you can stay close and land a few hits in between the slams. This was only my 3rd attempt, and I wasn't exactly sure how he'd behave. So the safer move was to just keep dodge rolling through the slams. Alright, finally, a moment to get a few hits in. We have the 3 waves, and now he's going to follow up with more slams. If your rune abilities deal more damage, try to land a few hits between the slams to generate focus, and use your rune to dish out some big damage. I made a lot of mistakes and still came out on top. Let me quickly show you my weapon and gear so you can get an idea of how much armor and health I had going in. I'd say this boss has a really easy first phase. And technically, the second phase should be easier since you're only dealing with one enemy. But it gets tougher if you're not familiar with his attack patterns. As for the build I'm using here, I'll be making a separate video on it. I've improved it so much, I'd honestly call it a crazy build at this point, so keep an eye out for that one. If you liked this video, consider subscribing, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments.